Good morning. Grace and peace to you from our Lord Jesus Christ, and welcome to worship at Second Presbyterian Church in Indianapolis. We are gathered by the God who calls, equips, and sends us in service. We are gathered to worship the one who holds our lives and all this world in grace and love. And so you are all welcome as God unites us and joins our spirits in worship. This morning we continue a series of sermons focused on stories from the Bible's first book and the words of author Marilynne Robinson in her most recent work, Reading Genesis. You're invited to join us this Sunday and next as we bring that series to a conclusion with messages of both hope and challenge. If you are joining us this morning as our guest, we hope that you experience the warm welcome of the Second Congregation. We would invite you now on each pew to sign and pass the welcome books that you'll find sitting there so that we can greet one another by name during the service. And all of you are invited to a time of fellowship and refreshment following worship in McFarland Hall. That's behind the sanctuary down either of the hallways beside the chancel. There's a lot happening in the life of our congregation. Much of it is on the back of your bulletin where you'll find events listed. All of those events can be found along with additional details on our website, secondchurch.org/events. I will mention a few. As you see before me, we are thrilled to have our children's choir singing with us in worship this morning. If your child is interested in singing, it is never too late to join our children's choirs. You can learn more on our website. Speaking of music, this afternoon at 3 o'clock, Tonos del Sur will present a free concert of Baroque-era music titled in English, Lamentations and Celebrations. That's in the chapel at 3 o'clock this afternoon. The Super Bowl of Caring is underway, and you can give monetary donations for our Northside Food Pantry either online or look for one of our teenagers carrying a soup pot following worship today. In addition, you may have noticed the risers and inflatable football player in the atrium, which is where you can donate your imperishable food items until next Sunday, February 9th. This Friday, February 7th, Children and Family Ministries is hosting 2 synchronous events. Adults are invited to attend an interactive presentation on mindful parenting presented by Scott Sweet, who is the director of the Centerpoint Counseling Center. And while parents are busy with mindful parenting, children ages 4 through 5th grade are invited to our Umoja Movie Night, a fellowship event hosted by our 5th graders who are raising funds to build a water filtration system in rural Kenya. Childcare will be available for children 3 and under. Next Sunday, our annual congregational meeting will take place following this service here in the sanctuary. Simply stay where you are. And following the meeting, all are invited to a special brunch in McFarland Hall. 2 weeks from today, that's Sunday, February 16th, after the 10 a.m. worship service, there will be a screening of the new documentary, Food Insecure, followed by a discussion about ways to address the challenges of hunger in our community. Nominations are now open for our Women at Second Honorary Lifetime Membership Award through February 28th. And finally, today is a special day in the life of our community, the day when we recognize our scouting groups. Scouts and leaders from the troop chartered by our congregation are with us in worship this morning, and I would invite them to stand first so that you can see those leaders and scouts who are here from our troops. Welcome. And as they remain standing, I knew I was going to get somebody. If you remain standing, I would like anyone who has ever been a scout or a part of the scouting program as an advisor, supporter, mentor, or parent to please stand so that we can see the impact of scouting in our congregation and community. Friends, we give thanks for the way that your work impacts and influences so many in our community. Thanks be to God. And now, as those who choose to trust in the grace of God, let us turn our hearts to worship.